bad that his brothers and colleagues are languishing in Robben Island and him is free outside. But the life that we experience, it was the life that every African experienced. My father never gained anything, never, because maybe if he said he sold, I don't think he would be staying in Dube, would maybe be living somewhere in the suburbs, in town or anywhere. The one thing that puzzles me is that my father was not part, and then that's why he never had the defense, because he was witness number 25.
Oh, he did not have a lawyer to represent?
Yeah. Poison
oh,
because they have to go and mend the security. It was horrible. We're lucky to have people like Cubans, because we were asking ourselves, these Cubans, they are racist, they don't eat with us, and so on and so forth. But the reality is that saved us. But you know, my mother, when I was traumatized, when I came back, I tried to ask him, leave these things. I don't want to go. And my mother was a courier for Joe Slovo.
According to you, what was Mbokodo? Who led Mbokodo? What was the intentions of creating this unit called Mbokodo? And what did it do?
You know, I was part of the Mbokodo when it was created. I was 3 years old at the time.
You already met Mandela?
We were already, because he frequently came at our home. He was very close with my father.
All that the determined and militant youth who skipped the country expected them to be. One such camp was Quatro.
I think we were 8 or 9. We were handcuffed the following morning, forced to lie on our stomach, the Land Rover, and we could see now we're going to a place where if they give you bread, you'll think it's a cake. That's Quatro. Quatro is a number in Portuguese. We called it Quatro because we used to believe in our country at a place like number 4. I think this is the place. What was more surprising is that the uniform they gave was so dirty. Then they told us that this is a hell of a place. You could feel they just pointed to us, that's your cell. You don't look anywhere, you just go straight into that cell. If we are 5 in this cell or 10, if we have to stay for 10 years or 5 years or 6 years, you'll see the face that you are with within that cell for that 6 years. Beatings in Quatro was an everyday thing. I remember one warder by the name of Sonwabo. We went to chop the wood. So I happened to look around for a stick because we were using a hacksaw. And it was very early in the morning, around about 8 o'clock. Just for looking aside, he beat me from 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock. I don't have any problem with the membership of the organization as such. I don't have any problem with my colleagues, but I have a problem with the leadership of the ANC. No one came to me, even after killing my father. No one came to me.
Whilst Eliza's father was assassinated by the ANC in the 80s after being suspected as a spy, Mr. Joe Seramane's younger brother,
Mashade politically incorrect. Another week, another chance to learn the history of our people. Another chance to somewhat live in the shoes of those who lived before us, just so we understand what did it take to actually to have the strength to fight for the country, because it's not easy. You will hear it's not easy, and for those who will be triggered, we just want you to know that we are going to talk to freedom fighter, someone who has lived the experience. I mean, he's going to tell us Quatro, he's going to tell us a lot of things. And as a courtesy of what we do is we put all these books for you to understand. These are the people who are shaping our stories. And we don't sell the books, but you can go and buy the books yourself. So let me do this. Ntate Mthembu. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is, I want you to, if you can, speak of that video that we played at the first, where you are at the TRC lamenting your contribution to the struggle. What is it that you feel when you watch that video? What reminiscence do you can start with it, and then you speak about your history. So for example, you could just tell us, this is what my because yours is different. This is how my father joined, and this is how I joined. This is my lived experience. So you can start it anyway. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you see, the TRC, we never had a chance to iron out everything that happened to us. It was mainly asking questions where, there and there, and then you explain, but you don't go the details. You don't have a chance to go to the details of what happened really in exile. That's the painful part of it. And then TRC, to some of us, it was manipulation. It was not something that will be in a position to maybe to heal the wounds.
So how old were you in that video? Because like 30 years now. How old were you in that video, and how old are you now?
In that video, that was 96. I was 31 years because I'm born 1955. And then now I'm 70 years old.
And do you feel the TRC was, Little Pampatlelo calls it a farce, a futile exercise? Do you think Little Pampatlelo was correct?
He was correct. He was correct. It was a futile exercise because, before, let me elaborate something that I've gone through the commissions. The first commissions that I experienced, it was within the ANC, the Stewart Commission.
What was that?
That was 1984, 85. Yeah, 84. Yes. Because we were in prison at that time. And then the Stewart Commission, after the Stewart Commission, I went to the Douglas Commission also. That was a independent commission.
When was the Deathless Commission?
Atlas Commission, we were already back at home. I think it was between 90 and 91.
Okay, no thanks.
Yeah. And then the other commission, the Square Commission, which was composition of the ANC.
Yes.
And then the Mutsunyane Commission, which Mandela was the one who came up with the Mutsunyane Commission.
Okay. So, and then, so are you saying you participated in all of this?
All this.
Wow. Mthembu. From 1984 to 1996, you were doing commissions.
Yeah.
And what did you get for all of this? So in the first Stewart Commission around 84, 85, what was it that it was?
Well,
you were still incarcerated on this one. What were they trying to find out?
I really don't understand what they were, because our main aim was to move the struggle forward. We wanted change, because at the time, the ANC, the last conference they had, it was 1969. And that was 1984. Look at, a conference is held in every 4 to 5 years. So, all these years, what was happening?
We'll try to answer that. Let's go back to the genesis. Where were you born? Who amongst the people when you grew up with, and how did you realize? So because I wanted to be a story. Tell us your story. Where were you? How you grew up? How did you know of the struggle and the choice that made you to join struggle? And how did you feel when you know your father was there? And just take us through.
I would say I was born within the struggle.
What does it mean?
I don't know whether it's because I was supposed, I had a mission to fulfill. Mandela. I know Mandela when I was with my brother. He was maybe 6. I was 3 years old at the time.
You already met Mandela?
We were already, because he frequent came at our home. He was very close with my father.
Ask this.
That's the person we were very close to him. We knew him. He used to come at my home at my venture with a dog. He liked these bull terriers.
Yes.
Yeah. Me and my brother, we were afraid of the dog. Who would squeeze ourselves on the corner whilst we were speaking maybe with my mother at the time when my father went to my father Pela was the first group that went to China and Russia for training.
Just tell them who's your father.
My father is Patrick Abel Mthembu. They used to call him Giraffe.
Giraffe. Because? Because he was tall.
Yeah. And, my home was a struggle home. Because a lot of leaders, Thomas Nkobi, poor uncles of Aim, Msaba,
Where was this home?
Yeah.
Where was this home?
This home is in Dube,
Soweto.
Soweto. 1773. That's the number of the house. We grew up in a political environment, Dube, because it's one place they used to call it Komasoli. Because most of the elders there were in the Second World War. So most of them, they were betrayed also.
Ish.
Even my father, I understand he was, but he never played so much role because he was young. And then until in 1954, where he was recruited to the ANC, and then met Mandela. Mandela was older than him by 6 years. But Mandela saw potential in him. Resahola will find Babina di Pinatel Zabalazo. But it was a peaceful struggle at that time about Suta, Wena Straydom, Hausa Suti, Itlao Hata Kolo, Yena, Haina Mabilusi, Kena Kotele, those times of the Prime Minister Leonelli Straydom. And there are so many things.
Among the people you grew up with, who do you remember?
The people I grew up, there are many. These are heroes. I will mention Jerome Solodi, who was hanged. He crossed with me. Duncan Lamini, also passed out. Tokyo, the very Tokyo. Sukhwale, those who were older than us, they were recruited by my father. Was Piwenyanda.
So you knew Piwenyanda before you went to exile?
Yeah. I grew under Piwenyanda, Red Lala Polo, in the same team. Bo Naledi Siki, Bo Bobby Tsotsobe, who escaped the death row. Bo Salman, Mabote Salmani, Bo Jones Chabalala Movers, Bo Henry, Bo. Those are guys that hotel the zona go to be. Bo Lesija, Tokyo's elder brother, and their elder brother, Brapita. Yeah. Bo Ace Petla, Bo Sech, Bo Auspolina, who were in the Pretoria 12. A lot of them.
And then you already politically conscious. The step that made you, because you say your father was one of the first that left the country.
Yeah.
And what made you to go to exile? When was it?
When we left for exile, it was 1976. It was when we saw what was happening. And then my father, he was the one who motivated me to go. And then my friends, I talked with them that, guys, the situation is changing. Some of them also, they were political because that's the area which was very, 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 very high in politics. And then they agreed that, no, we must go and do something. Even if we don't know where we are going. But Inch and Auspolina, those were the ones who transported us to Swaziland. And then we stayed in Swaziland the We stayed for almost 3 weeks in Swaziland, and then there was an old man, Bareki Tuman. He's the one who took us to Mozambique.
Tuma who?
I don't remember normally. It was Comrade Tuma.
Okay.
Yeah, but everybody...
Who receives you in Mozambique?
Before we went to Mozambique, there's a place, a hideout place. It's for the ANC. Then it was in Nomahasha.
Nomahasha.
Yeah. Then one morning, when we were sitting there in that, waiting to be transported to Maputo, then that's when we met Zuma. Jacob Zuma. He was very young. I think he was just released from Robben Island for the 10 years that he spent there. And then all of a sudden Tokyo came also. And Tokyo left the country before us. They left 1975. We left 1976. So he came and he knew us. He told us, guys, when you come back, maybe we'll have finished with this.
Yeah.
For us, you see. Well, it was just joking.
Yeah.
But those are the people who gave us motivation. Zuma gave us some lectures and so on and so forth, and Tokyo also. But what was surprising, we did not know how they disappeared. They were with us, but we did not know how they disappeared back, you see. Then after...
What do you mean by that? So do you mean after having met you,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden they were nowhere?
Nowhere. We can't see them, how they left.
Yeah.
You can't point to Reba to them.
So they did not say goodbye. 1 minute you are with them, 1 minute.
Well, they are inside the country,
Yeah.
Swaziland, or they are back to Maputo. We never knew that.
Sure.
And then we left. The only person who received us in Mozambique, it's Comrade Lennox. He knew my father, the guy. Yeah, Comrade Lennox. So when you do your biography and profiling and screening, you could see, oh, this is Giraffe's son. He asked me, where's your father? I said, he's at home. Because what happened, we were kids at the time. We never knew what really happened. But there was this notion that my father sold out. And it hurt our family very bad. That his brothers and colleagues are languishing in Robben Island. And him is free outside. But the life that we experienced, it was the life that every African experienced. My father never gained anything, never, because maybe if they said he sold, I don't think he would be staying in Dube, would maybe be living somewhere in the suburbs, in town or anywhere.
I want you to hold that just for the record of so part of what they allege him to be a spy or sold out is because his contemporaries like Mandela were incarcerated in Robben Island and he lived as a free man, and they thought if that cloud fall on other people, his peers, he should also be because he was not arrested. That's what they thought was.
And the deeper of the issue here, at that time they were careless. When I see there was carelessness, because the struggle to Africans at that time, it was peaceful. The protests, the stayaways. The problem just the Communist Party, the Jews, because the Jews were from Europe at the time, and they knew everything. And then an African in South Africa was a threat, especially those who fight for their own country. So we're facing Jews and the Afrikaner as black people, and both these people, we were a threat to them, especially in power.
I want you to identify these Europeans. Are you talking about Joe Slovo inside SACP?
Yeah, Joe Slovo, the Pensteins, Hodgsons, and then on the other hand, the Fisher, Abraham Fisher, and then
would Ben Turok and others also be
those? Yeah, you see, because if you look at the way things, Mandela was never present at the Liliesleaf Farm, Rivonia. Mandela was always on the safari trying to mobilize, especially the Pan-Africanist countries and movement, because he trained in Algeria, Kibo Penpela. He traveled to Ethiopia, Ghana, Nkuruma, because those countries declared they got their independence very early, but Tanzania. That's the way he moved, so that his brothers can go and get help with some of these countries. But as I see, why South Africa, why the 7 first group that trained were sent to Russia and China? It's through the communists, because they've got the influence. It's through the communists, and they were trained. But when they come back, they become backbenchers. They are not in the high command. The high command was led by Jack Hodgson, Walter Sisulu, Govan Bek. And they were elders in the ANC. But were they trained? Were they trained like Amskath, Bo Elias Mtswaledi, Bo Raymond Mhlaba, Bo Patrick?
So you, according to you, this SACP, was it a bad influence or was it a good experience for the ANC because it gave them links to communist Russia, for instance? So what's your conclusion?
My conclusion, I have a problem, because if you look at the Rivonia Trail list, only one Jew was sentenced in that group. The first were Africans.
Who is that Jew?
I'll remember the name.
Okay.
Goldberg.
Okay.
Dennis Goldberg.
Okay. Okay, would you consider Ronnie Castros as one of those?
Yes, Ronnie Castros was also there. And if you look at the defense, let's look at the defense of the Rivonia Trail list. Kibonebo Ben Turok, the Pensteins, the Abraham Fisher. And then you look at that composition, it's Jews and Afrikaners, the defense. Then you look at the prosecution, led by the Jews.
So,
and then other Afrikaners.
And you know, and I'm asking you all of these questions because I wanted you to allay the history. But now that we are talking about it, so 1969 conference, then they take a decision to say now the whites can even be active members of the ANC. Do you think that was a mistake?
ANC, it was a growing movement. I wouldn't say it was because it has already taken shape. They were in the struggle, but how far? You understand? They were in the struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, and they contributed to our struggle.
Okay.
Like the Indians, the Coloureds, and so on and so forth. Okay. The problem with the ANC is that even if the memorandum that Chris Hani wrote after the Wanki operation and the Polilo operations in Zimbabwe, Chris, I understand, was also face death by execution from the ANC, but is saved by the Women's League, Meba Kutswana Libo Charlotte, Makreke, Ketchup, and so on and so forth. Yes.
A contested issue here is who wrote the Chris Hani memorandum? Who were the authors?
We don't really.
Was Ben Turok the majority author of the memorandum?
I'm not sure. I never. It's just that we got it in passing. Yeah. You understand? During the struggle, we got it in passing that this happened after the Wanki operations when they come back, and ki nerebabitsa bomdala hore they were long in the struggle, but in reality some of them we caught them on their pants because the ANC at that time, when we look at it, we don't see it was ready for the influx here June 16 at that time.
So then you leave Mozambique. What is your next destination and how are you received? Because I want to get to how did you gain bad blood, and this bad blood, how did it end up into the Quatro incarcerations and the demise of your father?
Then after I think in Maputo we stayed. We never stayed even a week. Everything was prepared for us. We boarded a plane to Zambia. Zambia was just a transit, and then we went straight to Angola, Luanda. That's where we were received by Comrade Make.
Cassius Make?
Yeah, Cassius Make.
Do you have experience of working with Cassius Make?
Yeah, in the later stage.
I just want you to explain, because we hardly ever get a chance of speaking to this great man called Cassius Make. What kind of a person was he?
Humble.
They say he's one of the best commanders of MK.
Humble and honest. Honest, shorty.
Yes.
Yeah, very kind to everyone. And informative.
So Uncle Fred says he was very smart.
Yeah. He ran that Luanda because
he was meticulous in admin.
Yeah, and if you remember, Luanda was still young, Angola was still young, an infant into their independence. Then here these brothers, the liberation movement, who need assistance. You see, so the Cubans were there, and then camps. We needed camps to train our cadres, and then we needed personnel to train these people. So some of our cadres who left in 95, when they come back, they disembark in Angola to come and teach us, like Bokepoza, Bo Tamizulu. Tamizulu also grew up in our area.
Tuwe was very...
Yeah. Thabo Modise, the son of Modise, and then
Which Modise, be specific?
Joe Modise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Saki, the elder brother, that was my friend. So we grew up with all of them, and then they will come and... So I want to show you how Cassius Make worked. Analebo Mike, but Mike Sanjan, we used to call him because national so we understand the little how lose in those process of the struggle. Then you had about Libo Julius Mkwena, our commander at Katenga, before we were attacked by the Boers with Canberras and bombed our camp. We lost some of...
But Cassius was a good man.
Yeah, I was a good man.
Then he receives you. When do you get your training?
We were received, and then they packed us at a camp in Luanda, right inside the town. Camp at Nebaibiza Engineering. It had Cuban and Fabula forces. Fabula forces is Angolan army. And then only there it was screening and profiling. There was no much to teach, you understand, because it's in town. We have to be trained in guerrilla warfare. So we stayed in Luanda, I think 3 months. Then we were taken to the southern Angola. We reached Benguela by buses, convoy. On the way, lane mines. There will be a stoppage. There will be this, no food, no water. But we survived because we knew what we want. And then we reached our destination, Benguela. Benguela, the Angolan government gave us a sugar plantation where we tended to be a camp. Because at least there's a river for water. And then we've got logistic that we have, the truck, and body beans, the rice, tin stuff, Russian flour. So we survived flour. Some of us, those who want to work in the kitchen and make food for us, and then that's when the training started. Yeah. We trained by Bo Julius Mkwena, Bo Ontate Mabalane, Bo Bra Olo Abo Jeki, Bo Bra Peter. Nale Bra Peter Mungu was a medical officer. Nale Bo Ntate Zogolo, Bo Mwizitwala, Boma. Korebo Oboma Khofos Mwizitwala Kolo Wala Bukaye ele soldiers in that day. Ele Mbokodo.
The dangerous Mbokodo. Yeah.
Have you read? I read that book.
We'll get a chance for you to tell us about Mbokodo. We want to hear Mbokodo. Scary things.
Scary things. And these things happened.
Ish.
These things happened. But I think we stayed 6 months because they were still looking for a suitable place for our training. And then we joined the Kibo LT from Tanzania. That group came, and then obvious our camp became smaller. And then they transported all of us to Gatenga. Gatenga is 65 kilometers from Pengela town. Then that's where we settled. That's where our training started. And the hero. Yeah, he was in my platoon. Yeah. Jeremy Solodi was in my platoon. Platoon yaka company 3. It is Arizona, but it's in Jazeke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo Cassius, wana mtswaleti.
Yeah.
Bo ntwena bo Opri wana mlange. And then like wana mtim. I realized after.
Yeah, no.
Why Barpaneso?
Yeah, no, you were a special platoon. Who was your commander?
Yeah.
Who was the commander of the
Commander Nele Joseph Munar. I was his commissar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Renale bo boy, bo small boy. Yeah. And then LT, they were in company for, I think we were 540 members in that camp with Cubans, but my Cubans were there just to train us, and they contributed a lot. They just looked at us. Rena, you are South Africans. Arrange this. The Cubans.
Yeah.
I thought just a Noah.
Yeah.
Thought just a crocodile. Usa believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll eat it. But I just a train. You sa believe.
Yeah.
But you rebo na manuna le na manyane ngwe ba mixitse le ya go muleng le retlaja.
Yes.
Yeah. But they trained us. They made us strongly. Mzalanyana wa rona, the ladies, bo Mavis, bo Rota, bo Malebu, and Banabale bako Orlando West, Kiale Balebala Mabitwabo.
So, but there was a contingent of female trainees, and their recruitment. It's only a and then their experience. If you hear from them, was it nice? Were they not ill treated because of their gender?
Those who were with us
were treated fairly
because we were the eyes.
Oh. Yes.
They were. We had them on our radar.
Yes.
Understand? So it was difficult. Yeah.
Okay, amongst yourself. But then the generals were not allowed to do.
No. It's only we never questioned that.
Okay.
If somebody loves, as long as AG Ibonahala, but not those old men
who would take advantage of teenage,
of the
young ones.
The young ones.
Okay.
And then we trained, but there was a horrible situation that happened. So, the Black September. I don't know you know about it.
The poisoning.
Yeah. We call it the Black September. Kibona, I was Nerele Mujuti. Our platoon was the one that manned the defense of the camp. Kibona panim lukana ataso akoha AK imimela. Afedil. Poisini evereka le daide akavene batwa tao bajile pili bona dichu.
Oh.
Because they have to go and man the security. It was horrible. We're lucky to have people like Cubans Because we were asking ourselves, these Cubans, they are racist, they don't eat with us, and so on and so forth. But the reality is that saved us. Because if never Jali Rena, what would have happened? Because the mission there, it was the South African contingent would come there and finish us. And finishes us.
Do you think that was an innocent? I say innocent in this instance, meaning that it is an error within the camp to almost a concoction, food poisoning, or you guys believe it was actually poison?
It was poison. It was poison. I would say we were careless from the administration.
You think external people, or there were spies inside?
There were people inside, in our midst. In our midst, because if you look, anyone could go into the kitchen.
Oh, there were not control measures.
There was no control measures. The reality is that.
Oh,
there were no control measures, and then
it wasn't stale food.
Yeah,
it was fresh food that was cooked.
Yeah, and then the kitty pizza tell hold the bulehil. And the other thing they say, the poison was not strong. It's because our pots are still at Kwadua. Kitse di bulehile.
Oh.
Ya vaisi bulehile, ya slava bulehile, ya di pinsi bulehile. So that's it.
It evaporates.
The evaporation
discover lethal.
Yeah, and we're lucky that no one died in the incident.
Okay.
But the Cubans were betting like injection where you do for 4-5 days so size you do hot. Those guys.
Yeah. And women were not affected by that.
Kuhupula ngwana mongare komisa nigi number ya sekai. You must tell it to Abono Karoash. The where we normally eat, it was in a hospital. So the Cubans, they were very, 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 those guys. They phoned and communicated with Cuba, right in Cuba. Really there.
Technology.
Yeah. And then Cuban doctors, about 100 and something, came. And then they landed in our area.
With some
going to Luanda and so on.
Medical supplies directly.
Medical supplies with everything.
From Cuba to land in your camp.
Yeah. And then
they saved lives.
We saved lives. And that's when the Cubans, they said, we told you, we saw that there is carelessness in your what's you called. And then some other comrades were put on the front as if they were the ones. But that thing needs investigation.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at that time until people were deployed also. Like more Platininia Kabo, Opani left, Bocasias left, Bocherum Soludi left, formations Bo David Petla left, Bo Ace Nati left. So there were groups of trying to infiltrate Bakena, the site Labutuana and operate, and some of them they had skirmishes with the Putatswana,
Mangope.
Yeah, Mangope and the South African army.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we were told. But in reality, the leadership of the ANC, they were liars, man.
Ish.
Aye, batho bale. You know, when the first time I heard there's this guy baring ke Mzwandile Philiso. Mzwandile Philiso knows who was responsible for personnel and screening and so on and so forth. He was the leader. He left the country in 1950 to go and study in England. And then he became a pharmacist. Zwandile Philiso, I remember when he addressed us about people who betrayed and so on and so forth. He's the first to mention my father. He says, Patrick Abel Mthembu was Tengiz. He sold us out.
He says it in what kind of audience? You are part of the people who is addressing.
You are part.
And everyone knows you are Giraffe's son.
Some knows. Some don't know because they don't say you are given a pseudonym when you come there.
You spoke about Comrade
Lennox.
No. You spoke about Comrade Olifile. You mentioned his battle name. I just want to know all these people that you were mentioning, because you came with a contingent from Dube who you know each other.
Yeah.
When you were in the camp, were you referring to each other by the township names that you know each other, the real names, or were you using battle names?
We were using battle names.
Even if you know his real name?
Yeah, even if I know his real.
Okay.
Yeah, we're using these battle names that they gave us. They say it's to protect us,
okay,
or to protect everyone.
Okay.
Well, but to some of us, it didn't materialize.
Or one-on-one, you knew each other,
Yeah. And others could. And even the elders who went before us could understand.
Yes.
Because Tokyo, to me, it was Tokyo. Krapis, to me, it was Krapis. Roy, to me, it was Roy.
Yeah.
Spewe, to me, it was Spewe.
Yeah.
You see. So these are the things. So I became, I couldn't handle this. Then I went, after he addressed, I went to Movers and spoke. Movers is the one I grew up with also. I said, hey, Buddha, you heard this man who ring Galtap, Arpega. Then Mover says, I grew up under that man. He's my father also. He means my father. He says, this is somebody who recruited us to join the ANC. But now they are talking like this about him.
Okay, Timer at the time.
Timer is at home. I left him at home.
Oh, wait, because I need to understand this part. He went to exile first.
Yeah.
And then he had to come back.
He came back.
So by the time when you ran and jumped the border, he was already at home.
He was already at home.
Thank you. Continue.
When they left, it was 1959, I think.
Yes.
58, 59, when they were sent to Russia through Botswana and then Lesotho, the protected states.
Yes.
Those were the ones via Tanzania and so forth. So when he came back, my father never came back with the whole group. He came back later. And then when he came back, MK was already formed because MK was formed in 1961. My father came back in 1963 because I understand he he was ill and then he stayed in Lesotho for another 2 years. So he came back in 1963. So the formation of MK, he was not there because playing in the street, my father that day, he was wearing a tops. But my brother could identify him. And then go high. Because his intention.
Nato scout.
Nato scout. Yeah, Nato Kena go move us.
I check a coast.
I check a coast and then he will, after that, then we exposed him right there. My brother says, Papa, no, what I say? Oh,
okay.
Yes, okay. That's when he came back. And then after that, I think there was that communication. Joe Modise, drive out. He took him to Rivonia.
Okay.
Where Bamapi, where now you'll be. I understand he was appointed to be head of the recruitment by Jack Horsey. And then some of them, they did sabotage and so on. And then I understand that he was the one who spoke with Mao Zedong during the Mao Zedong, Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
And then now at that time, I was just a youngster who narrata football, who understand the time. But I could see these things happening in front of my eyes. Bo Uncle Ray, Bo Raymond Kusaba, Bo Indrumulangeni, Bo Elias Mtswaledi, because they used to converge. One day we were playing marbles with my friend, with my brother. The marble, the lady top.
Yes.
Then came the police. But these were Africans. Hey, Afala. Okay, Papa. What? Ah, Papa, samele le bontate Mandela le bontate Mlange.
La bua let. Oh. Yeah.
My brother says no. Because he says no, Manuel, I'm again. Where's a Joan?
Margaret Manati Yes.
So, but after a few minutes, 30 minutes, my father came. Babu Mandela. Then we started, Papa, police. But okay, no problem. After a few minutes, those guys came. But you could see who
Sure.
Yeah. Then Baba Paya Molo Wajiwa, then Baba Patla Laka the group sabot.
Sure.
So that's how these things in the really born Salibanyan we were very young.
So when you move us, you are deep inside and you talk about this pharmacist who discampaigns your father.
I said to movers, hey, you here, movers are, we need to confront him.
Yes, sir.
You need to confront him.
So movers elects you to be the one who confronts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's my fact.
Sure.
I went to Mzwandile police. I said, I'm Patrick's son, Giraffe's son, and my father is at home. And I hear you say this. What happened? He left the country in 1950, couldn't tell me anything. I don't know where and when did he knew about this. That's where I saw here there might be leadership squabbles and differences. Because it means he got it from someone. He left the country in 1950. How could he know that that person, he's the one who sold out at the Rivonia Trail? And the reality is, My father never sold anyone. My father, in the Rivonia Trail, my father, in fact, he came back late. He came 1963. The MK was already formed. Because that was the pressure from the Communist Party. The Communist Party was banned in 1950. You know, these people, they co-opted Mandela to become a communist. Mandela never joined the Communist Party. They co-opted him because Mandela was a nationalist. Mandela was always on the move. You will never see, even in the Rivonia Trail, they will tell you Mandela's memoirs, we found them. The police said we found them lying there. Mandela was not there. Unfortunately, he was arrested for that strike, and then he was sentenced to 5 years before the Rivonia trial, where he was made the accused number one. My father never spoke about Mandela, never spoke about, he just spoke about the places that he knew, like Bo SK building, which they were using, even the Rivonia, the Lilies.
Was your father in the dock? Did Usekile, was he?
No, he's, I remember his testimony, cross-examination was in camera.
Oh, so in camera, in legalese, it means his was separated. Yeah. In camera to testimony.
Yeah.
And then, so they use his testimony in the Rivonia trial.
Yeah.
And this is why the distrust between the comrades and him. Ish.
And then they never took out what he said.
Why was it separated? Why was he not with the rest of the trialists?
He was witness number 25. But they made him Mr. Y. After Bruno Mtolo, Mr. X. So, and his comrades, they sought the evidence that Bruno Mtolo gave to.
It was he. Oh.
It was he. And it was not him.
So from accused 1 until accused, I can't remember the Rivonia trial. Accused one was Mandela, and then until accused number 10. Yeah. So they had witness number 1 until 25.
Yeah.
And then why were they given witness X and Y?
I think maybe it was when they said...
Is it because there was witness A, B, C, D? Or it was they just swapped the numbers?
It's just they did it so that maybe the other ones, they shouldn't identify who is dismissed and to confuse them.
Okay. Because
really it confused them because Mr. X is Bruno Mtolo. And then Mr. Y, they made it my father. I got it later. That my father even did not know Bruno Mtolo. Bruno Mtolo was brought to him by when he came for training from Natal. So my father was the one who has to take him to Rivonia, to Liliesleaf Farm.
Okay, your father
High Command.
Bruno Mtolo too.
Yeah, High Command with Andrew Mlange.
Oh.
Because Andrew Mlange was almost the one who drives.
Yeah.
And when I listened to Bruno Mtolo's testimony, he was angry.
Why?
I don't know. It's
Why?
like we are being used and others are languishing in the... You see, those elders of the ANC at that time, they were never in the struggle that they are ready now to fight. Theirs, it was that struggle of protest and so on and so forth.
Yes, I understand.
Yes. And that is why if we look at it in reality, the Rivonia Trail, what did they do which was wrong? They never demolished any bridge. They never destroyed any economy. South Africa was very young also. They never killed any...
Because they were conniving against the apartheid government. That's why they called it treason.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
but South Africa at that time was not even ready, even itself. Because if you look at it, the defense is Jews and Afrikaners. They could have got even that 5 years. They could have got that 5 years, not death sentence. Mandela was arrested and they gave him 5 years. And they will tell you about Communism Act, Terrorism Act, and so on and so forth. And that the only thing they arrested him, it was that strike.
And then after confronting the pharmacist, you are sitting with him, you confront him. What does he say?
Nothing. He doesn't know nothing. He can't give me any answers. He says, no, you were young.
Okay.
You see, I say, yes, I was young. He says, no, we'll see you. Don't worry.
But you are already known.
Yeah. And it continued.
Does that, you think, you feel, does that expose you now that people, because when he says Giraffe was a traitor, and now that other comrades know that Giraffe's son is here in the camp, do you think that exposes you to ill intentions?
Any tensions, because my platoon is constituted by Ndrumlang and his son. Elias Mtswale's son.
They feel that their fathers...
Yeah, it's like that, because my brother told me that, with my sister, that our cousin was married, she was married to the Mtswale's family, and they believe that the person who was giving evidence is my father against them.
The Mtswale family.
Yeah. And my father, in that clip that I sent you, he never mentioned anything about Mtswale because he was very close to him. He never mentioned anything wrong about... He spoke about some... You know, I remember in the trial, when I read, they said to him, to my father, the prosecution, they said, if you give us what we want, that's fine. Because they knew that he has nothing. They knew that he has done nothing. But if you don't give what we want, you'll join that group. So it's survival. It's how, and one thing that puzzles me is that my father was not part, and then that's why he never had the defense, because he was witness number 25.
Or he did not have a lawyer to represent.
Yeah, and this was...
He did not get working legal advice.
Understand, and these ones have already banalibo.
They were lawyers, by the way.
Yeah, they were lawyers, bo Penstein, bo Mama.
I said.
And, you know, I suffered. Because knowing that your father is going to be killed by people who are with you. It was tough for me. I remember started hating my father for nothing. It was painful, and I understand the same thing happened in my family. That There were letters, threatening letters, notes that says to him, we are sorry for your kids, but we are going to kill you.
Ish.
They said my father was not living a normal life. When these things comes, they show him, just put them in the pocket and tell my mother that I want these people, I want to be prepared to die, because some of those people who are in Ireland, they will tell you the truth, because maybe I'll be not here. I'll be already dead.
Ish.
And there's another part that is painful also. We left Kadenga. After our training, I left, went to Kibash. It's in the northern Angola, that camp. This man, okay, the pharmacist, he addresses us again there, now with other contingents of MK recruits. He spoke the same again about my father. And I went to him again. I confronted him. You know what he said? He said, I think you'll be our main man to finish your father. Meaning I must come and kill my father. I educated him. And the other, I think the camp commander at that time was Comrade Parker. Comrade Parker, he told me, no. That's not the way to do things. After a month, my father was assassinated.
I want you to hold it there. You only realize when you are in exile that this thing is not what you thought it is. And you are far away from home. And there are no return flights, because once you go to exile, you only come back when the revolution is. So, did you, of course, you had feelings of regret. And I know a lot of freedom fighters that I spoke with, they also wanted out. Did you have thoughts of escaping this thing, go and be a civilian somewhere and then find your way back home? What was running through your head?
I don't think. I think I never thought of that, because for me, I felt that I was not also trusted.
Ish.
So this kind of move wouldn't...
Or it would have been worse.
Worse. But the only thing, the backup that I got from where we come from the people, because some elders like Bokrapisi, Bo Bramos, Makotlan, they told me, your father is the one who brought us here. So don't
worry.
Don't worry. This will be fixed.
How do you receive the news that your father is gone, and how was he taken out?
I was ill with malaria at the time. My friend and my brother, Duncan Zamin, he was the chief of staff in Kibash. He came to my tent and then said, Buddha, let's take a walk. He heard it from the Radio Freedom. He said, hey, they killed the time. That's what he said.
So
And I could see even him.
it broke him.
Yeah. So, when I look at things, is that they felt threatened by this man because some of the cadres that are there, they mentioned him. Working for the very same organization that he felt he should, maybe trying to show that he is not the one, but he couldn't convince everyone. He couldn't convince everyone that
And
he
how
did not do this.
how was he taken out?
When I was told, there's 2 versions or 3. My mother was at the kitchen, but there's one thing that I know, because they wouldn't just send anyone to go and do the mission, except for the closest people closer to my father, just like me.
Oh, that's why they even hinted of you are the one who must do this mission.
Because he wouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was done through one of our family's relatives in Orlando West, that is extension, the Mkhwanazis. You understand? They are the ones.
So
So the person that's sent to pull the mission entered at my home. My father, it was said, he was in the dining room reading newspaper. But this guy, my mother was cooking in the kitchen. And then this guy came in, he said, I brought money from the Mkhwanazis relatives to the old man. So my mother relaxed also. He said, no, it's that. But when my sister says, he said, my father went out right at the back.
So he entered in the kitchen and your father exited.
Then came, and there was that scuffle.
Okay.
Because that guy was hitting a weapon. So my father had a weapon also. When I asked my brother, he said, yeah, he had a weapon. I said, you know why he never used it? He could have used it, but he never used it because it would justify what he has done. Even if he would say he was defending himself. That's what because he could use it. He was trained. He was somebody who is trained. Then the guy shot at her.
At him?
Yeah, and then he ran away out. My father followed him until he fell.
Chasing the guy?
Yeah, chasing the guy. My sister said also he chased the guy until to the site of Roma, about a kilometer.
Gosh.
So, and then the family also traumatized. Because now it's that time hula bo bona bo Bruno Mtolo bo command that old man Bartholomew somewhere there.
So he was not the only one. It was a hit list that was followed.
Bo Makiwani brothers Baleba Batsamailem Balebona ko Tanzania or this went out and then went to Transkei. So all these people were, it was just to
What year is this?
I think it was 1978. Yeah, my father died 1978, the April 14 or somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the mother, because you suspect it could be someone that was known. Does the mother remember this individual?
The individual was not part of the family.
But does the mother remember? So
Yeah.
was he a stranger? When he first came, the mother did not see him before. So that's why he had to use the Mohanazi surname for mother to relate. Okay.
Yeah, he never. But my mother, when I was traumatized, when I came back, I tried to ask him, said, no, leave these things. I don't want to go. And my mother was a courier for Joe Slovo during the struggle. My mother was part of the struggle. But they don't mention him. Hey. Some of these things, they are very, very, very painful.
Yeah.
But coming to the trauma, it's fine. They survived that trauma. They survived, even if the kids, they say they were called agents, sell out, and so on. When you understand, it was not nice. The damage the ANC created to the society of South Africans. People sometimes might think we hate ANC because 1, 2, 3 reasons, but the ANC never loved the people of South Africa according to what we experienced. Because Mzwandile Piliso in the camps were always threatened. We were threatened. You would feel that, hey, I'm in the wrong place. These people, it's like we are enemies to them. Imagine someone telling Oliver Tambo that, don't worry, President, if they point a finger to one of us or to some of us, will not hesitate and will cut the whole arm. That's a vicious part of, and there was this other one they call Francis Meli, Sizwe, editor of the ANC, editor-in-chief of the Sichaba, the magazine of the ANC. He was an MI.
What is an MI?
An MI, Military Intelligence of South Africa. And these people were protected. Even Zwandile Piliso, who was a drug smuggler. People never said the men Rex, because he was in the pharmacy. Joe Modise who twere kadi diamonds, smuggling diamonds in Botswana. And Oliver Tambo never did nothing. He protected them. Even Quatro, he became as if he doesn't know about Quatro. I remember when we were in Quatro. He came there. Quatro was very clean because of the prisoners. When he entered, he says, "Ish, this place is very clean." I remember when he was in our cell. In our cell, it was me, Mwezi Twala, Simla, Eddie, F1, Chauke, Chasop, Mego, I don't remember. Then there was Leru, this guy was Leru, and there's a young man from Natal. The guy was poured with boiling water on the head. And then it was a wound. He told me they made me to hate the stamp with that wound. That place is like Buchenwald.
What is that?
Buchenwald is concentration camp of the Nazis. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing.
Hell on earth.
Yeah. You go to the medical clinic, you expect to get help. You are beaten there. You are beaten with coffee sticks. You know, our cell was the one that was called those guys who are
active.
Yeah. We used to go to make firewood. And then at the same time, we were pushing a tank, 1,000 liters in a steep, being lashed. It must run. It must run. That tank, there's a truck which was provided by the Russians. Never ibitsa hore ke grass. 6 months is finished. Ke tank yele.
Ipula le dem.
Yeah.
Quatro.
Yeah. After 6 months it will be finished.
Huh.
I remember Barulumisa ka di notes. These guys. The notes peace. There's a tree. Nerinahana olo ichopa because iomile rinana re tla fetsa ka pele ba re tlohela. F1 o hlobola hempe re hlobola di hempe. Setsa bona material engwe ya the uniform ya teng, it was a material it's and the tent. Military tents. Wa bona o re jwang
Tapoli, kind of canvas tent.
You were degraded there. You were not a human being. That's why I say we were like the prisoners of war. It's Buchenwald, that thing in Ezahalamu. You wash yourself the whole prison. Ka half tank ya metsi ya king half. We were not drum, a quarter.
Yes.
How we cut it, a quarter ya thing.
Yes.
The whole camp, you wash yourself with that water.
All of you, or you taking turns to...
Tents, yeah. They make you go into the embarrassing. You propose a tree as if it's a woman and then make love to a tree stem.
They make you do it.
Yeah.
They whip you.
Whip you.
I asked Ntate Lutando Jasop that some of these people who were doing it, were they known to you? Did you know them? Were they South Africans? Were they people that you lived with in South Africa? And after Quatro was dissolved,
yes.
Where are these people?
These people, they're afraid to come out, some of them.
But do you know them?
Yeah,
do you know their names or you just know their faces?
We know their names, but Dexter, I understand Dexter, they're staying in Centurion. A lot of them. Some of them, like umfano wa wantwina unalemnyani, they were using him in every, he was not right. Abu Wahore Mzwandile Peliso is using them. Kamafana Pabanyani, some of them I trained them.
Ash.
You know, hey, I remember when I was that was 1982, 81, 82. I was a chief representative in the southern Benguela province. And then I was responsible for logistics. Di kepetse di tlang di tlisa dithunya, diaparo, dijo. So we had our own office in the province of Benguela, like a house, a residence. And then we were responsible, Tabatata, the truck, the load, whatever they want to load. Minus. He passed on, may his soul rest in peace. Baba Ngaitam. So, I remember when I got arrested, there's a guy Barak in Remisa Joe Pulit, because he was trigger happy. He was in the Mbokodo. And a young man, Itumele, I saw him, he was asking for amnesty from my arrest. I just laugh. That's the...
Wait. So you're saying Mbokodo enforcer went to the TRC.
Yeah.
So one of the amnesties he was requesting for reconciliation was to say he's sorry for having incarcerated you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy came
before. So apologies for doing this.
Yeah.
In your heart, have you felt that he deserves the forgiveness?
This is a young man who was sweet. They were.
So you felt
they were. Some of them, they were protected as if they are the main. Understand? They destroyed a lot of youth, the ANC, because the youth that came out of South Africa was a threat to the leadership. Was a threat to the leadership. So that's why some of the things, they were not right. You can't build a prison in a country. You can't have kangaroo courts in a country that is not yours. That country has got laws, have got prisons, have got anything that you can use. But they made they made their own kangaroo courts. To an extent, they even take lives of some of the comrades.
Continue speaking. I don't want to fix something. You keep speaking.
Yeah. Our comrades, like Ibomahiro, Ronald, these were comrades whom, during them Katashi, they thought maybe some of us were going to be executed.
Ish.
Because in Vienna, what happened in Vienna? 1984. No, before that. Then I was arrested with my...
Before we were talking about the arrest, the reason I interrupted you, you were speaking about the arrest, but I just wanted to know, did you find it in your heart when you saw him remorseful and requesting for amnesty at the reconciliation committee, did you find it in your heart to forgive Tumelo?
Yes, I never had that. I want revenge to him.
So you forgive, in your heart you forgive?
Yeah, I forgive.
Because you feel he was used, he did not know what he was doing.
Yeah, he was used.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to have interrupted you. You were talking about your arrest, how you were incarcerated.
So he made an arrest, me and Henry. The arrest was that we never had transport at Benguela. So transport came. So they want to take the transport. It was a Toyota Land Cruiser, the baggy one, and then a Toyota Enaling parking the
Canopy.
The bits on the current Kumbinia.
Which one is that? Panel van?
No, parking the bits on. So current the pass the seat.
SUV, so no?
Yeah, SUV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 of those, so we were using them. But there was this old man, Barry. He was our chief rep in Luanda, Oraya Mkweba. And then Tate Mashiko. Tate Mashiko is a veteran. Lena Ramkwa is a veteran. But we clash. Because I even told them that, this revolution that we think we are fighting for, it is meant for certain people, not some of us.
Son.
Yeah, I told them, because maybe they will convince me. But I told them I'll never budge. Then until they...
Why are you summoned to the hotel?
In Benguela.
Why?
They wanted to make me feel as if I'm one of them.
Who's them? What are they doing?
They serve the interest of the status quo.
So they were Joe Modise people.
Yeah.
So they wanted to recruit you into singing.
Yeah.
So you oppose them political ideology.
Yeah.
Quatro.
Yeah, 1, 2. Even Zwandile Piluso wanted to make me feel like he's after all this happened. He tried to change. For me, I remember he visited us in Quatro. He find me in the cell. He makes as if he doesn't know that I'm in Quatro. He says to me, "What do you want here, we?"
Ish.
You understand? What do you want here? When ufuna imvubu nje siqhale ngemvubu uphumele ngaphandle.
Oh, he was pretending he was kind to you.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, you were at some point and you felt like even other family members were not happy about the existence of your father because of how they painted your father. And it was very difficult for you, and it was protracted, of course. But then when your father was taken out of the equation, he was no longer there. You were not getting this negative vibes about your father.
That's when I recovered now.
Yeah, so you felt like at least whatever they were hanging on over me, it's gone.
It's gone.
You became better.
Yeah.
It must have been very...
Yeah. But now, during my arrest, during interrogation, they all raise this question against me.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you think you forgot about what your father has done to this movement. We are going back there again now.
Opening old wounds.
I said, but that man is no more there. You took him out. It's no more there. Why you bring such a thing? You know, I was locked in a container, these freight containers, for 40 days, without food, without water.
40 days.
This freight container has got no window. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it's hot. Kalota ke bafana ba banyane. Asiyokama mdala. Then put you back. That was 1983, yeah.
You know, I just want to understand, you know, when the Vietnamese people came back, the Americans, when they came back from Vietnam, you know, they had special mental preparations for them.
For them.
Yes, you know, war veterans were treated because they had special psychological needs of people who came, like the prisoners of war.
Yeah.
All those things had specialists to do.
Yeah.
And I've always asked them to say, any psychological preparations for you guys coming back? I mean, I'm even talking about even those who were not incarcerated.
Yeah.
Just everyone who came back.
Yeah.
Or did you go through help of any sorts?
They never. Even the GRC mentioned it, but they never.
Have you and your family went through any psychological?
Me. When I joined the SANDF, I went through. I used that channel for me.
Yes.
And I found a lady who was counseling me, was an Afrikaner.
Yes.
Hey, so good. I told him everything what happened to me. He says, you know what? If you want to cry, you must cry. If you want to scream, you must scream. You must heal. You must start healing.
You were allowed to let go of all these backed up emotions.
Yeah. And I survived about that.
Yes.
And now the problem is my family. We took long to talk about our father.
Because the wound is revived, and there's some sort of, you guys as a family, I suppose, are pushing some sort of blame to him to say, why did you make us a pariah in the movement?
Yeah. Some there was that, but not. It's just that guilty, because some of the things were brought to my mother that understand Abua. Nobody was there when my father was talking, and he never said anything. And this, I got it by luck. You know, when I was going to testify in the Truth Commission, TRC, 1996, I was already in the Defense Force. And then I went to National Archives in Pretoria. It's National Archives is compensation house, and then the buildings, there are three, and then the pension house. So I went to the National Archives. I went in there, I introduced myself, I was in uniform, I produced my ID and then gave that person, I said, I want information here about this man. How he died, what happened to him, because they've got the records, their files there. So I went there. That guy, he went the other side. I waited. He said, wait here. That other side, there's a and the white person, then they talk, they check, talk, whatever they said, and then he came back. He said, no, we don't have anything, nothing.
Ish.
That's where I said, oh, something wrong now. If the archives, they can't have this information, what happened? That's where I started now to be more investigative about this issue. So every time on my phone, I will do this, I'll check Abel Mthembu, testimony, what, I'll find. I wouldn't find it easy. This one, I got it because through the French institution, they had a collaboration with South African arts, sports and culture. So there was an exchange. So this was an example of, look at how this case was treated. Then I got this slide. But after that, it was removed. So I kept it, and then he recorded it. And then
so it was online?
Yeah, then send copies to anyone, even to my brothers, to my sisters.
To keep it. So there was no footage, it was only audio file?
Audio. And then the Bruno one also, the audio.
You got it?
I got it, but I never recorded it. That's when I hear he accused Sisulu that the Sisulu, the furniture, you could see that these people, they were luxurious, and then they are working, they're tiling for, which some of them is justifiable. They were used, like my father. My father, even, I read Searchlight. Searchlight, it's a magazine of events that happened, especially Paul Trawell knows about it. Searchlight says, Uncle Raymond Mhlap, about my father, says, Patrick, Giraffe was one of our best cadres. We lost one of our best cadres. So I asked myself, why others are saying this, others are saying... So, seemingly, there was even Comrade Joe Gabi. When I was in Benguela, he came. After the Pretoria trial acquitted him, he came back, he came to Angola and wanted to see me, find me in Benguela. He was with Mzwandile Philiso. And then he...
Who is Patrick Gabi?
Joe Gabi.
Tell the audience
Joe
who was he and why was he acquitted?
Joe Gabi is one of the first group which went with my father to China and Russia to be trained as members of the High Command. But we don't have any history after their training. Maybe he was deployed because he was someone from the Eastern Cape. You understand? But his resurfaces again in the Pretoria trial. Yabo Musima Libo, Naledi Tsiki, Opolina Bo, and the others, the Pretoria 12. They put him there in order to make a case a strong one. But he was acquitted, and my father was made to come and testify in that. And my father, what he said, Joe Gabi, I know him when we were long in the struggle, but after that I don't know what happened to him. And these kids, so there's nothing I can say. You can't send a kid to join a movement outside. It doesn't give any sense there. I understand. So the ANC and the TRC, when they were asked, give us the reasons why these people were killed. Even in my father, they can't tell it. They will say he gave evidence to the state. What evidence? Give us the evidence that he gave to the state.
So
they even can't give us even up to today until I got this. And they don't know that I got this. It's after 40 to 50 years. Rivonia Trail was in 1963, 1964. He came back in the country in 1963. He even asked, he was very close even to Tuli. I remember Joe Modise telling him that, hey, there's a new organization which is formed. That new organization is MK. My father asked him, have we abandoned the peaceful means of struggle? He says, no, you'll hear it there. Let's go. But today, Joe Modise, in his biography, he's the founder member of MK. But they couldn't associate himself with it as if it's something that was orchestrated by other people. You see. So you could see in reality, I normally ask people that, do you understand the statement Mandela made that I fought against white domination and fought against black domination? Which black domination was he speaking about?
I don't know. According to you, what is it?
It's within the ANC. It's within these elders.
They were suppressing him.
Yeah. The white domination we know, but if you look at it, it includes the Jews who are in the party.
Okay. According to you, what is the legacy of Nelson Mandela? What is a good thing that comes out of? What are the good
memories?
Yeah, for you, what does Mandela mean to you?
Yeah, Mandela, to me, is a hero because, you know, there are things there are things that Mandela did with my father that are memories that he couldn't forget. If this Mandela that came out in Victor Fersfeld was that person, no. Because he could have mentioned anything. He could have said my father sold him, even himself.
Are you saying you have two versions of Mandela?
Yeah.
Mandela pre-prison and Mandela that left prison are two different people.
Two different.
So you love the first Mandela.
Yeah.
The Mandela that came out of prison is not the Mandela that you recognize.
No. You know, even Mam Winnie, if Mam Winnie knew that my father did this, you could have said it. But I kept quiet, he never mentioned anything.
So, when I spoke to Comrade Joe quietly, he speaks about people who were being fetched and fetching. I mean, people went in with hits and to go and take people out. Pudipuo were amongst those who witnessed this. So I just want to check, is it the same operation that would have taken out your father? Do you suspect that? So meaning that Joe Kwetle suspects, according to him, that's the allegation he makes, that the Winnie Mandela football team was used for those dirty jobs of taking people out. Do you suspect that could have been, or you say Winnie Mandela view your father in a different way? She would not have regarded your father as that.
No, she wouldn't even go there, Winnie. My father, the people who orchestrated the death of my father are the ones that I was with outside.
Oh, they also, you see,
even those at the island, they were never part of that.
Oh, so you reckon the hit was sent from exile into the country to make an operation and come back?
Yeah, even if they know that the last person will be the closest. Them Kwanazis, and then they've got their own person just to pull the machine. So, and funny enough, all of them, those people, they're dead.
Which people? The people who
all of those who plotted, who were part, all of them are dead. And you know, there is one thing, there's one podcast which puzzles me. Veronica's release. I opened that podcast. He says there, I want that podcast. I can't get it.
It's still available.
Yeah. He says, hey, we thought that we were sending Patrick Abel Mthembu to hell. And now he's sending us to hell.
Veronica speaks that of your father.
Yeah. I know Veronica's release, I was close to him in exile. He was one white guy who was flexible and very good to us. We were playing soccer together and so on and so forth. I never thought that he knew my father that way. But I don't know how he took of me. You understand? Okay. It's fine. But I had a dream, I think last month, because I wanted answers. And the answers that I wanted, I couldn't get it except from my father. And then there was this person, they call him, my father mentioned him in the is Ben Somani. I think Ben Somani. Understand? So in that dream, I saw Pursuiter. Pursuiter was the chief prosecutor in the case. Pursuiter, there's a time where he says, we cooked this case.
Which case?
The Rivonia Trail. It was a death sentence. And then they cooked it that even if they survive, they will survive only for life.
Life imprisonment.
Yeah, life imprisonment. Because they knew that these people have done nothing. It's just that, as you say, they were confronting the state as they want to make an example with them. So, in that corridor, I see, even I mentioned to my brother and my sister, I see Youth. When I look at him, you know what he said? He said, the Penstains, I don't know why they are treating these families like this. To me. But it was just commenting. And I always, the Penstains, They were in the defense of the trial. And the Jews, and some of them ran away after the Rivonia Trail. They ran away to exile. Why? Why they ran away? Whilst they were in the defense. Why they were not persecuted? Because they were communist. Why the Jokosin they were not part of the what? Because they were communist. In reality, what did this old man did, which maybe would say to bomb the bridge or to destroy the economy of South? They never done those things. Their case, they could have been defended by these people. Maybe even they can talk the 90 days trial or but they were sacrificed. They were sacrificed. That's why other people, they will tell you ANC was sold during the 40s. So who people were in the helm of the ANC at that time, during the 40s?
You spoke about a time where you were in buses, you were leaving Luanda, going to south of of Angola.
Yeah.
And treacherous road, of course, but you spoke about landmines.
Yeah.
So these landmines were planted on the gravel road.
Yeah, the landmines, you remember, they were planted because there was UNITA at that time, there was NFLA, and there was South African
Defense Force. Yes, the apartheid army.
Yeah, that apartheid army. So only the Cubans, because Angola was taken.
I just want
But
to
only Luanda survived because that's where they declared their independence. But the other provinces in the north, the east, the west was already occupied by these insurgents. So the Cuban and the Russians are the ones who drove them out.
So the landmines were on the road.
Some of them were left on the road. So our convoy would go have this sappers who would identify and then then we can pass. To go to Benguela, we can go there within 3 hours from Luanda or 4 hours, but it took us 2 days to reach the...
Because it's not as easy.
It's not as easy. Yeah, it's not as easy as it's supposed to be.
What do you think of Cyril Ramaphosa and the government of South Africa now saying the delays of justice or the delays of the amnesties will be reinvestigated and reopened for the people who gave testimony at the TRC to sort of rehear this thing? What and about you, your family, and other people who gave testimony? How does this make you feel?
It's painful. Some of us laughed the ANC just the way we hate it now. The ANC is cursed. The ANC was built from blood of our ancestors. And they will never forgive it for what it has done to its own people outside, and some of them, the leaders. They're cursed. And Kasit Habare Baukesite Usanete Ulobona Batimba Kuinu, some of them kuku urobetsi kwa. But waraba jong kuku because urobetsi. How would he answers to you when he's already not in motion? And some of us has cast the ANC wise to leave.
Okay, as a closure, the last question. according to you, what was Mbokodo? Who led Mbokodo? What was the intentions of creating this unit called Mbokodo? And what did it do?
You know, I was part of the Mbokodo when it was created.
Oh, so what did you think?
That was in 1977. I think that was in Kibash when that guy addressed us again about my father, Mzandile Piliso.
So Mzandile Piliso, is that when they were forming Mbokodo?
Yeah, they chose me to be the commander
of Mbokodo. And what were you thinking it was intended for?
No, it was, we were very young at that time, but they were built, they were forming something like, I don't know. But you see, young kids, when you say do this, they will do it. There's no thinking. And now, it was to be the eyes. So, we were targeting our own very people. We were not safeguarding them. You understand? So, I left when it was in an infant to go back to Benguela, where we had the course, a special course which was done by Vietnamese and the Cubans to us.
So you were at the founding stage of Mbokodo. And what did it metamorphose into, this dangerous thing?
It was given powers. Because
who was leading it? Who orchestrated?
Mzandile Piliso.
With whose support?
Andrew Masondo, Joe Modise. I don't think Tambo doesn't know about it. He knows about it. Because we used to secure them when he comes to the camp. Maybe we'll fetch him from the airport.
It's in Mbokodo.
Yeah.
What special privileges did the Mbokodo people have?
They had all the privileges. All the privileges that you can mention, they had it. To them, it was... they were enjoying that life. They're enjoying that life because they are protected. So even if they can shoot you, there's nothing that is going to happen to you or to her or to...
Was Tamizulu ever a member of Mbokodo?
No.
Why did they target him?
He was just a camp commander. But he had his own flaws and mistakes, because some of the Tamizulu, they drink too much, but they were victims of this also.
Of this, yes. Yeah. And they say Mbokodo targeted him because his operation led to the death of many, and they thought he led his unit into whether it's an ambush or whatever, and then they said doubt. See, that's proof that he's a spy. Yeah. What operation did he go into?
I think it's the operation that the cell high. They were arrested, some of them, and some were killed.
So.
Yeah, so it becomes as if Ureki sees, and sometimes it's carelessness maybe, and mainly in operations. There were so many commanders. There was a unit of Joe Slovo with Ineli Bopani, Bo AC, Bo Ntrina.
AC, you're not talking about Mahashula, right?
AC Waboroda. Okay. Those guys were good into what they're doing. But there are other commanders and their units. There's where, because you find some of them saying, when you reach the destination, you must tell me where you are.
Ish. Because I want to ask about that. So when a mission is intercepted, what do other commanders learn so they can avoid in the next?
You understand? I had a comrade, Eddie. Eddie Utsamaya, they are sent into the country with Whitey. Whitey is the brother to... Who's this guy? The arm steel. Montonia, the arm steel.
Okay.
Nomsonyana, urata uklamukla albitola.
Tony Engate.
Yeah, Tony Engate. Tony Engate, he was my subordinate.
Yeah.
Tabama Kutla was my subordinate. He was a political instructor at the camp where I was the chief of staff.
And Thaba Makwetla, wasn't he the one who was suppressing the MK people? And you helped, and then the veterans ended up having some of the ministers.
He was the deputy minister of defense.
And military veterans?
And then in terms of the military veterans, yet he kimumamete mo
TV.
Yeah, mo TV. Interview again to him. Kiman this lady, yeah. He was against the military veterans. There is no money. Basanahana Ronald Chelete from Kontle, Ebatilен Leona. He was defending the status quo. In fact, the Tabamakot is an opportunist. He's an opportunist because Honabalumbam sidelined. He's been sidelined. He's not. Hauna Mashahela mo contingent in ya Cyril Ramaphosa. And Bammerekisi, in fact, they used him.
As veterans, what would make you happy? Because do you want reparations for everyone who participated? And we spoke about how when those monies were made available, some of ANC leaders said no, they're not getting anything.
As people who were incarcerated, they must pay us. They must pay us.
Who must do it? Who must do it? Who must pay? Is it the ANC as a political party? I don't know where they would raise the money, or is it South African government who must pay? Because you were prisoners of war of ANC, but you were freedom fighters of South Africa, and that's why the Valmansdal process incorporated you into SANDF, because you are South African soldiers.
South African government must pay us.
Okay.
Because they agreed, all of them. Today, the first one, there was a government of national unity.
Yes.
Yabo declare Libo Mandela ba and then now Kibo Sirele hap.
Were the monies promised to you by your former generals and now generals in here?
Yeah, Modise, even as we know about that money, in a reflect and local defense, people don't know about that. Some of them, because some of Babangba, they were not integrated. They just want compensation. This is not. It's not. There's no pension in that, because pension trying to say the employer is contributed something, and the lower and the employee contributed something. This is compensation. This is compensation. And then who need a resettlement for all the exiles? It's an editorial. UN, United Nations, is responsible for it, and the ANC, they know about it. It's not all about Sebikayo.
Comrade Mthlegazi speaks about Thabo Mbeki being those who said there's no money, and the unfortunate thing, of course, is you guys won a case, and that case fizzled out of no one wants to pursue it. You won a case against the people like who keep him apart at the time were military veterans, leaders who you monies were due to you, and you won a case to say that money still needs to come, and that money has not come. If you think 2014 to now, it's 11 years since you won the case, and what must happen?
There is another money that is in the United Nations that is controlled by Abumbu Bulelani Ngoka. I met a guy, Mthembu from Diepkloof. He's the one who told us. And then Ari, you know this money, kina kwera batla di funds, batla ipulela di business. Arabo bulela lenguga, they've got your money. Somebody went there, abatla di funds, it's 2 billion. Bulelan, no, I can't give you that money. It's too much. You understand? But if you look at now, people, some of them are basebeta, they are from prison, but they are billionaires. They are counted. Some of them who were even in the country, they are billionaires. And then we know, Huri, they were flashed. Bo hona utshwana le kimango o dibara tsa motsepe. Bona bo Cyril. Bona bo kimango sparsa sa Jeff Khate. Those people bangari chelete, we don't understand. Ba sebedise ka. Where did they work? And some of us, we are keeping quiet. Kadilo so to safari sambatu ba mohai. Our families are suffering. They have to menace exile. When there is money for resettlement. That's Kionenwe in Shansang. There's money for resettlement. And it's billions. But other people will find them defending, like about Tabama Kweta, because he was a prime. After that, he's in the defense force, deputy defense minister. The right. What about the cadres? What about the veterans? These people, they are vicious. They are vicious. They even die. They will. We must die without the Pope.
Okay, Comrade Dilisa Mthembu. Does it offend you when I call you comrade?
No, it doesn't offend.
Do you think the word comrade has lost its meaning?
It depends on we know who are comrades.
Okay. Comrade Dilisa Mthembu, thank you very much for coming, and we hope others will also be encouraged. We cross our fingers that it's not the last time you come here, and we wish you good health.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tobela, Mashian Political Incorrect, it's been a long one. Thank you for staying until this end with us. Etada.